We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hey, how are you, everybody? Welcome back to yet another exciting episode of the Martial Heart Podcast. Hi, it's me. So today, I had today was my 20th cardiac rehab visit. So that was kind of a milestone, I guess. I didn't realize it. I guess I'm into week number 7. So I've got 16 visits left. So more than halfway done. And then I'll be graduating. And the last person who was part of my group when I first went there finished his today. So it's going to be me and another new person who came in last week, I believe it was. So new people coming in, old people graduating and moving on all throughout the year, I suppose. And I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. They've really started to work me. I was sweating tonight, working on the treadmill, going uphill a lot, a 5% incline, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're walking uphill at a 5% incline for 30 minutes at a 17-minute mile pace, it can make you sweat. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. But the thing with me is that at a certain point, my foot will still start to try to go numb. It doesn't progress beyond about 3 of my toes on my right foot going numb. But, in the old days before they did the stents in my lower body, it would eventually be the whole foot, and then it would ride up the calf. And then my whole leg eventually would go numb if I didn't stop exercising when it started happening. Now, the blood flow issue with just a couple of the toes seems to start to kick in at about the 10-minute mark, 10 minutes of pretty brisk walking. And then it doesn't get worse than that. So I just keep going, and sometimes it's better. Sometimes I can still tell it's there, and it just sort of is a nuisance, but it doesn't progress past that. So it's not causing me to have to stop or, stop and shake my leg until the blood flow came back, which is what I used to do. Back when I was in karate classes, I would just have to stop what I was doing and stand there and shake my leg until, all the feeling came back again. But I haven't been having to do that, so apparently the stents in the lower body are doing their job. The stents in the heart are doing their job, sending the oxygenated blood down to my lower body. But there's still some small arteries in my right leg because of the full blockage of the femoral artery. So the arteries and the veins and stuff that have grown to, form a path around the blockage still aren't wide enough to pump enough blood so that I don't have this, this numbness that happens when my lower leg is calling for too much oxygen and it can't get there fast enough. So eventually they say that will improve. As those veins and arteries and stuff will expand and they'll get bigger, and the more you force them to transfer blood, the bigger they'll get, and they'll just continue to grow into larger arteries so that it can get more blood flow down there if your body is calling for more blood flow down there. So I guess the key is you have to continue to exercise. And I just hit this microphone and it didn't make any noise with the shaking. So I guess the shock mount is doing its job because I flail around a lot and I hit things all the time and I'm not picking them up in my headphones. But I am checking down here every once in a while to double check to make sure that we're recording in more than one location, just like we talked about last time. So I'm recording here on the computer, and I'm recording down here on the Zoom PodTrack P4 to make sure I have a backup copy of any audio that's happening. So today, Monday, first day of the week, back to work. Typical day, nothing unusual. I don't know what your day was like, but mine was pretty standard. Nothing notable, I guess you could say. Spent some time fixing things that people broke on purpose. It's something that I do a lot. And in Cleveland, it's quite common, I guess. People are just destroying things. And then I get paid to go fix them repeatedly, because within a week, it'll be broken again. And that's the way the cycle goes. You know, it's like the whole circle of life. It's the circle of Cleveland. People destroy things, and then I go fix them, and then the next week they destroy them again. That's just sort of the way it is. It's predictable. So today our topic, when we were having our class for the cardiac rehab, because we do have a topic that we go over every time we have one. And tonight it was exercise, treating exercise as though it's a type of medicine, because really they say it is. It's a type of medicine. So look, there's that other camera. I got it working again. It's got a bad cord. I'm getting it fixed. Don't worry. But hi, the camera works. I haven't figured out where to put it yet. There's a lot that I haven't figured out yet, because we're not actually done doing everything in here that we're going to do. So right now I'm just sort of crammed in here until we find some things. You'll notice that the lighting is like really bad. And I think some of it is that I only have 2 lights on in here, but the new color of the walls just transfers light really well. It reflects the light. So in the other room, where having these 2 lights was barely enough light, and so I could make adjustments and make it look cool, it's not working in here because one light is apparently more than enough if they're bright enough. So I might have to get some different bulbs or something for my lighting, so that I'm not blowing everything like that. But anyhow, treating exercise as a medicine, because really it kind of is. It does the same thing as taking medicine in different ways, but it can improve your blood flow. It can improve your cardiac health. It can improve your oxygenation. It can improve pretty much everything except for your bad joints, which is really the one complaint that I have about exercise at my age, is that, boy, can it hurt, because bad joints, arthritis, torn tendons, ligaments, all sorts of things. All those injuries that never seem to go away. They're fully healed for several years, but it still hurts now and then. Re-injuring things that you've injured before. Today, it was my rotator cuff. My rotator cuff in my left shoulder has several tears in it that we didn't have them go in and fix surgically. And that was because the surgeon himself was like, we really need to give them some time and see if they're really going to bother you that much, if they're going to impede your motion, if it's going to impinge things, and yada, yada. Because doing any kind of a surgery is always a 50-50 shot at it. It may help, but it may not. And if it doesn't, then you just had a surgery anyway for no reason. Now you got new issues to deal with. So we opted to not have him go in and surgically repair any of the tears that are in my rotator cuff. So every once in a while, if I do something weird with my left shoulder, boy, will I feel it, because it'll pinch in there. And there's so many things wrong. So really my only complaint about exercise at my age is the fact that it hurts so much. And that's not even the martial arts training and exercise where you're actually in contact with other people. Having a contact sport kind of exercise, it's not even like that. It's just, I'm just making my body do things that it no longer wants to do. And it can hurt. So today, after, I was wearing my thumb brace because the arthritis in my left hand, and it's probably because of all the stuff that we did over the weekend. It's probably my own fault. But my left hand, it was killing me. It still is. But I just decided not to wear the brace tonight for, aesthetics. But I have a thumb brace that keeps my thumb in the correct position so that my arthritis will stop hurting me all the time. And it works pretty good. I forget what it's called, but it works pretty good. It just isolates your thumb joint. And so my hand was really killing me all night. Ever since probably last night sometime. And then, of course, the shoulder. All I was doing was taking my shirt off, changing clothes so I could go to cardiac rehab. Boom. Tweaked it the wrong way. So now my shoulder's been hurting since then. The knee that has hurt me since, 1987, somewhere around there. Still does. Nothing new. The hip and the lower back and all these other things. So you feel good while you're doing the exercise. At least I do. I feel good when I'm exercising. It actually lowers my blood pressure. So with my problem keeping my blood pressure under control lately, the exercise is really good because they'll take my blood pressure before I exercise and it's a little high. Not dangerously high, but a little high. And then after I've exercised for 30 minutes, my blood pressure is like really normal, like 114/74, somewhere around there, which for me is pretty great, especially lately. So exercise obviously is very beneficial for me and for my heart and for my blood pressure and everything. Just they're going to say, people are going to say exercising. I know I can see it right now. I can feel them limbering up their fingers so they can type on the keyboard about how exercise is actually really good for your arthritic joints and stuff. And sure, yeah, it is. It still hurts. Yeah, you have to keep your body moving or it will start to atrophy and everything will lock up and you can't do those things anymore. But stop trying to tell people that you'll hurt less if you exercise because it's really not true. I am in pain all day, every day. But it's, stupid things I did to myself over the years, and I really don't have anyone but me to blame, and the Army, probably. And some bad advice from other people who worked out wrong and told me to do it wrong. So, I'm enjoying it. I do enjoy exercising. The level of exercise that they're going to want me to maintain is pretty intense. They want you to continue this after cardiac rehab, of course. They want you to get 30 minutes of cardio exercise every day if possible, a minimum of 4 days a week. And they want you to do resistance training, some sort of weight training or bands or, just body weight exercises, things like that to keep your muscles in shape. So it's a pretty intense exercise regimen that they want you to adopt. And for me, someone who is working out 4 or 5 days a week most of the time anyway, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just a matter of getting back on track and maybe changing how I exercise because now I'm going to have to do a lot more cardio as opposed to no cardio. We talked about that. I don't know if that was in the episode that got eliminated and didn't broadcast. But anyway. Yeah, not a lot of cardio on my schedule of exercising. But now it's going to have to be if I want to maintain a healthy heart and not have any more heart attacks. So, but the fact that it's really nothing new for me to exercise, let's say if we're going to stick to their minimum of 4 days a week, That's not really anything that big of it's not that big of a deal for me, but it might be a huge deal for people who haven't exercised ever. Like the guy who graduated tonight, he completed his course of the cardiac rehab. When he started, he never exercised. He said he just never did. He's in his 50s. He said even in high school he wasn't into exercising. He never exercised. Had a desk job, so getting into this routine of exercising, he says has changed his life, which I'm sure it has. Because, just having a sedentary lifestyle like that is really bad for you. So the fact that he was kind of forced to start exercising and he's actually enjoying it now. And I'm pretty confident because he's been really aggressive for the last couple of weeks as far as he's been putting in the work, on the treadmill and on the elliptical and things like that. So even though they're trying to keep us within a certain, heart rate, his was a little bit different because he was nearing the end of his journey in cardiac rehab. So, it'll let him get a little more carried away. And he was really getting at it on the elliptical and on the treadmill. And it was pretty impressive. He's enjoying it, and he's telling people, he's like, "Wow, I'm really enjoying working out and exercising." So it looks like he's going to continue. He probably will, and it even looks like he's lost some weight since he's been in the course. Since I've been there, so 7 weeks, I can tell a physical change in his physique, where he's trimmed down some. So he's taking it very seriously. And so for people like him, I'm sure it's a harder transition. And I'm sure a lot of people, when they complete these courses that they sign up to do, because it's not mandatory, you don't have to do this. And they can say, we want you to go to cardiac rehab for 12 weeks. And you can say, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. You don't have to. You can go home and continue to get fat. Continue smoking and eating pizza every night and continue having heart attacks. That's just the way, if that's the lifestyle you want to have, that's fine. But for the people who do sign up and start going and go and complete the course, I wonder how many of them just go home and return to that normal lifestyle that they had. And it's not going to benefit them at all. I mean, you got in 12 weeks of exercise, but you're going to go home and just go right back to your old habits, because that's kind of the thing that happens with everything else, and everybody else who exercises. Even if you get started on an exercise routine, you can be really into it for a couple of months, but if you start to lose interest, or you start to get bored, or you don't see the results that you want to see, it's very likely that you're just going to quit. And you may quit slowly. It might be, I'm not going to work out 5 days a week anymore. I think I can get by with just doing 3. And then you'll find an excuse for that third day. You don't really need to do that. And then 1 day a week, like on Saturday. You have time on Saturday. Saturday, I'm going to get on the treadmill. So once a week on the treadmill for 30 minutes. Guess what? That's not doing jack shit for you. Nothing. And I know people hate it when I say those things, but spending 30 minutes on the treadmill once a week is not doing a damn thing for you, other than, maybe just frustrating you because you're not going to get any results from it. You just aren't going to. It's just like going to the gym and you're going to lift weights 1 day out of the week. Yeah, you're not going to see any benefit. You're not going to change. You're not going to see that change in your physique that you're looking for, and then you just get frustrated and you quit. Because you're lacking the motivation, you're lacking the dedication, and you're lacking the discipline to maintain it and to understand what you're supposed to be doing. And that's the downfall of most people whenever they start dieting or exercising. And it happens to all of us, even those of us who like exercising. If something happens to you, like there were different times when I would get injured and I couldn't exercise for a while, it can get really comfortable not exercising. All the extra free time you have to, play Call of Duty or get caught up on all those wonderful shows that are on Netflix. But it's even for people who are into exercise or say they're into exercising and they love exercising like I did, it's pretty easy to go, you know what? I don't hurt right now. I have my feet up in this recliner and I've just been, watching reruns of I Spy all day. And it's great. And I nothing hurts on me right now. And I think I'm going to go take a nap. And all those things can really just beat you down as far as your resilience, to laziness. And then you just start going, yeah, do I really need to work out today? I still look pretty good. Yeah, I've put on 3-4 pounds this week, but you know what? I carry it well. I'm good to go. It's not a big problem. And then it's 20 pounds and 30 pounds and 40 pounds. And then you can't walk up and down the stairs without having to stop halfway and, catch your breath. Don't laugh. I know people who are that way, and it's their own fault. So don't let that be you. I don't want it to be me. So if you can get yourself on any kind of a routine, I don't know if that comes through, but I'm still, and I'll be so glad when this election is over. Don't get me started. And the only person who's going to get me started is me. Because, hey, I'm not talking to anybody right now. I'm looking at a camera and talking. So nobody's encouraging me to have this conversation right now. But I am so sick of getting these spam phone calls and text messages from every political organization on the planet. I'm on every no-call list on Earth. Guess what? They don't work anymore. So the government is going to have to come up with a different plan. Because every dumbass with a political agenda or a scam has been calling all of us. What they need to do, whoever gets elected this time around, they need to make telemarketing illegal. Like literally illegal. It can't be done. Not, we're a legitimate organization. We call people and we solicit for charities and stuff. No. None. Nothing. Telemarketing should be illegal because all you're doing is harassing people. And it should be legal to go burn the building down if you know where they're calling you from. I swear to God, I hate telemarketers with, I don't know, it's an intensity that I don't feel for very many things. Telemarketers and telemarketing companies are literal evil. You hear all these politicians talking about, oh, they're evil. Oh, they're deplorable. Oh, this is the devil doing this. No, telemarketers are the devil. So, I don't know. Get some wooden stakes, pink, pink, whatever you got to do. I know that's vampires and not devils. It could work. We don't know until we try it, right? So don't discount it and say that a wooden stake through the heart of a telemarketer won't stop the problem. It could. I'm not encouraging violence in any way. I'm going to do the disclaimer that everybody else does, like on Twitter and stuff, or whatever they call it now. I'm not encouraging violence in any way against anyone. I'm a peace-loving human being. And, puppies. Yeah, no, I don't give a shit about telemarketers. If they could design a disease that only attacked telemarketers, I would help fund the research for that. I absolutely would. Yeah, it's a little overboard maybe, but that's the way I feel about it. So when the election's over, I hope all these stupid phone calls and text messages stop. I already voted. I don't know who you're going to convince me to vote for. I already did it. It's too late, and I'm not going to answer your call or your text messages other than to say really foul things to you for calling me out of the blue. And, it's 8 o'clock at night. How rude is that? I mean, people used to have class. It's just gone. It's just a thing of the past. People are classless. They have, I don't know. I don't respect boundaries anymore. I hate people. I don't know. That's not a product of having a heart attack or anything either. I've always felt that way. I have not been a fan of human beings most of my life. You know why? Because there's only one thing on this planet that actually is evil, and it's us. That's it. It's humans. You want to find evil? You want to find the devil? Yeah, just go look in the mirror, because human beings are the evil that's on this planet, That's it. We're the problem. And we've always been the problem. We just like to make up reasons to blame it on other things, like, demons and devils. The devil made me do it. Yeah, no, it's the fact that you're a shitbag is what made you do it. You just feel guilty about it now, so now you want to blame it on someone else. Telemarketers, talking to you, directly to you, telemarketers. And I don't care if you're soliciting for a charity either. Do it the old-fashioned way. I don't know, run a TV commercial or something. Make people cry with that song, In the Arms of the Angel thing with the puppies and all that. Everybody falls for that. Just get the rights for that song and do it. It's your charity. Play it behind a recycling, thing. It won't have the same impact as with the puppies. I know, but give it a shot. Do something other than calling me. Anyhow, there you go. That's how I feel about that stuff. And that's how I feel about politics. Here's another thing that I feel about politics. It doesn't matter who you vote for. The same shitbags who were running the country last year will be running it next year. It doesn't matter who they put on that podium in the top. And they're all a bunch of brain-dead puppets anyway. It doesn't matter if it's going to be Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. They're just going to say what everybody tells them to say. And don't tell me that Trump's a true rogue and an outsider. Bullshit. He's not even actually a billionaire. The guy's a professional liar is all he is. So you think he's going to get up there and tell the truth. He's the one politician who's going to tell the truth. The guy hasn't told the truth since he was 16 years old, probably. Probably lied on his driver's license application, too. But that's what he's done his whole life. And anyone who gets into politics, anyone, I don't care who you were when you entered politics, you don't stay that person. And none of them are worth a damn. Not a one of them. There's only been one politician in my lifetime who's ever done a single thing for me, ever, in my entire existence. And that was John Kasich. I'm going to tell you that story one of these days. It has to do with collapsing mine shafts and letters to politicians. There's a really good punchline in there, but I'm not going to give it away because it could have been the greatest thing I ever wrote. It was a letter to the governor of the state of Ohio, who at the time was John Kasich. And got it done. Anyway, it's going to be a long story. I don't have time to tell you that today. Maybe I will. It didn't have anything to do with having a heart attack. It didn't have anything to do with exercise and getting your heart healthy. And it didn't have anything to do with anything. Other than, wow, it was a big deal. And, yeah, he took care of it for me. And that was pretty cool. Anyhow, so again, sorry to bum you all out, but I really don't care who wins the election because everything's going to still suck for you and for me because guess what? We don't matter. We're the little people. We don't have the political clout or the financial power to make a difference. We're just going to be the ones who suffer because other people do. Ha! I really need to get back to writing. There's a whole bunch of shit I would love to write, but nobody's going to read it because it'll be banned from somewhere. Some dumbass down in Florida will try to burn my book, because Jesus, or whatever. I don't know. They're all stupid. So, well, how about on that note, we just call it a night because you don't want to get me started on any other topics. That's how I feel about election season. Telemarketers, man, boom, you got unloaded on with all of those, but it was fun. So, hey, at least I feel good enough today to, throw a fit about those things that make me angry. And I can talk about it and joke around and say silly things about it instead of getting angry and holding it in and dying from a heart attack. So maybe some of this stuff is actually working on me. It's not. I'm still the same person. I still have lots of problems. Anger is one of them. I have anger issues. But, everyone is just lucky that most people don't know I have anger issues. I hide it pretty well, especially at work. Mostly because I don't want to get arrested. So anyway, I'm going to go. And I'll be back tomorrow, maybe Wednesday when I have a full night. I don't have cardiac rehab on Wednesdays. I'll have more time to sit down and chat. Or maybe tomorrow, if something interesting happens tomorrow. But we're going to continue to work on this room, try to make it look decent. Because right now, the lighting, it's harsh. And I did what I could inside the settings to make it not so harsh, but it's pretty harsh. So we'll see what happens. And I know this gigantic microphone in front of my face, I know that my mother is going to say something about it. She's going to say, why are you covering yourself up with this giant microphone? Because there's no other way to do it, Mom. I don't know. It's just the way it is. Other than I could turn sideways and like turn the microphone like this, and then I would have to just look out of the corner of my eye, and that wouldn't be cool either. Or I could just act like I'm talking to someone over there, so that the microphone is this way instead of in front of my face, and I could just pretend that someone is over there that I'm talking to when there's not. I don't know if I can pull that off. My acting chops are probably not what they once were. Anyhow, hey, enjoy your night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe out there. Enjoy yourselves. Have some fun, because you never know. You might have a heart attack tomorrow, and that's going to suck. So you might as well have all your fun right now. Just go have all the fun. I'm kidding. Save some fun for later, because you're not going to have a heart attack. You're going to take better care of yourself than I did, right? Right. Okay. Good night. Take care of each other, and get off your ass and go exercise. Bye.